Belgium's greatest ever racing driver, Jackie Ickx, waved the field away. Franck Pereira leading in his Lamborghini, being chased very hard by the Mercedes of Lucas Auer, but it was a clean opening lap, really tight through the first few corners, 3, 4, even almost 5 abreast, up the Kemmel Straight. They kept it clean, they kept it tidy. Absolutely wonderful advertisement for GT3 racing. 66 cars, making it look competitive. It was competitive. So many different manufacturers duking it out for the front of the field, but little did they know what was coming. The meteorologists might have said, could be rain at 11 at night. They were right, but in the dry racing early on, it was a fantastic battle. Franck Pereira passed there for the lead by Lucas Auer in the Winwood Racing Man-Filter Mercedes. And out onto the track they went again, and the Lamborghini popping out into second place right on its tail, but didn't realise they'd been short fueled. There was a problem with the refuelling rig. Glenn Van Berlo eventually had to give up 4th place overall. Fabulous battle between the best placed of the Audis, and again a little bit of corner cutting. And then contact was inevitable at certain points. It did start to come. Dynamic Motorsport often involved at that time, certainly not the guilty party, as they were spun around by the Century Motorsport BMW, but through past the race leader Lucas Auer, possible contact that led to a puncture. Into the lead went the number 51 AF Corsa Ferrari, and then Maro Engel took over that bright yellow Mercedes, number 48, and started working his way back into the top 10. The number 7 Aston Martin going better and better, climbing up past one of the Boots and VDS Racing Mercedes, and then a few windscreen wipers started to come on. The first spits of rain. Mustang right in the middle of the mix right there. And then, unfortunately, a full course yellow was triggered. The number 26 Santalok Racing Audi spotted it, backed off, and got thumped into the barriers as a result. Till Bechtelsheimer, his Barwell Lamborghini, also got shoveled off into the gravel. The racing went on. The track was still just a little bit greasy. New surface for this year. And then this unfortunate moment, Christian Hook just moved across the nose of Nicolas Baer's Aston Martin, went spinning down, clipping the pit wall not once but twice, then coming to a standstill down just before Eau Rouge. And unfortunately, about a dozen cars passed, and then Adrian de Silva down the hill in the 61 EBM Motorsport Porsche collected him. No driver was hurt, but that was at least 2 cars out of the race. Number 188 McLaren from garage 1559 pushed back into the garage, cracked brake disc, that set them back. Treble 7 Mercedes tipped into a spin, but again this was the rival of a few spits of rain. Got back onto the track, but night was falling and rain was approaching. It was predicted for 11 o'clock at night. Just before that happened, Valentino Rossi fighting over 4th place and spun Davide Rigon's Ferrari around. More cars starting to rotate. Most managed to drive through the gravel and rejoin. The fireworks always so spectacular, and the DJ sets just on the inside of Eau Rouge. The fans were loving it in that giant grandstand. 11 o'clock the rain was predicted, and almost bang on cue down it came. Fork lightning. Who wants to be on the track? Davide Rigon would rather someone else was driving his AF Corsa Ferrari. It was dark, it was wet, it was very, very hairy, and it was about how the restarts were managed by all the crews out there. Spray was intense. And the 998 Rover Racing BMW started to work its way closer and closer to the front of the queue, and Max Hess and Dan Harper in particular going well. Max Hess, when he started, got to the top of the hill the first time in about 5th place, exited the corner in about 15th, but at least he was back on the surface, many behind getting it wrong and assisting their colleagues and rivals off the circuit. But the racing continued, but sooner or later, as more cars went running through the gravel, they just couldn't deal with the conditions if anybody was sitting on slicks, and that was up at La Source. It certainly was time for full wet tyres to be fitted. The number 7 Aston Martin, the Dane train, with Matthias Drudy as the honorary Dane, going very well indeed. Unfortunate little slip up there from Carol Bass, the Mad Panda Motorsport Mercedes. That would rejoin. It would have further penalties afflicting its cause in the next few hours. You can see the left rear brake light not working there. That would need to be fixed. More contact, and unfortunately there for Chandler Hull, he was given a shove by one of the Dynamic Motorsport Porsches. Not that it was spotted by all the mechanics, because some would be sitting grabbing a few winks. It was about when their cars were coming in. This was unfortunate for Lilo Wadu, shoved around at the same time by the number 71 Ferrari, driven by David Vidales, as the number 48 Mercedes was taken out of the race. A little bit of light coming into the sky in the Crowdstrike 24 hours, the centenary event of this great event here in Belgium. It's wet, it's slippery, but the light is coming into the sky at last.